Sometimes when we are experiencing difficult thoughts or feelings or cravings or urges, we can become completely lost and overwhelmed by those experiences. So this is an exercise called the five senses exercise, which is going to ground us into the here and now using our five senses, which are an incredibly powerful way of helping to connect us with the world around us and make sure that we're not dissociating or really just getting lost in these kind of big thoughts, feelings, and cravings, temptations, and urges. Again, I find this really easy to remember because I look at my hand and I literally count out my five senses. And so the first thing that I do is get myself comfortable. And I always put my feet firmly on the ground because, again, that grounds me into the here and now. And it just makes sure that I'm comfortable and make sure that I'm kind of like in a nice position so that I can breathe nice and deeply. It's always great to take a big deep breath before you start these kind of exercises. But the focus of this exercise is actually on our senses and on the world around us. Because again, we're connecting ourselves with where we are right now. We're taking ourselves away from kind of maybe negative, depressing things that have happened in the past or kind of things that we worry about happening in the future. We're also taking ourselves away from those kind of thoughts about any kind of temptations or urges or cravings that are happening right now. We are almost really distracting ourselves, but also connecting and again becoming aware and appreciating where we are right now. The first sense that I want you to engage with is your sense of sight. So I want you to explore the room around you with your eyes and think of maybe one thing to start with, one thing that you can see. And tell me, how would you describe this thing that you can see? What do you notice about the colour of it? Or the shape? The lines? Is there anything that you notice about the way the light hits it or reflects off of it? Is there anything else that you notice about the texture or the shades of the colour? And again, if you were to describe this to somebody that's never seen this object, maybe somebody from a different planet, how would you describe this object in infinite amounts of detail, getting really granular? So I'm actually looking at a lamp. I'm looking at a lamp in the corner of this room. And so for me, this lamp is red. It's glowing. It's got lots of curves on it. And it's got a matte effect. But I'm really taking this very curious sense and approach to this object that I'm looking at. And I'm exploring every aspect of it with my eyes with that sense of sight. So that's the first sense. The second sense that I want you to engage with is your sense of hearing. So with your ears, I want you to explore the environment around you. And I'm going to talk for a little second just to kind of tell you how to do this, but then I will be quiet so that you can then actually listen to the environment around you. But what I want you to do is just pay attention to the sounds. Are they near? Are they far? Are they loud? Are they quiet? Now, what did you notice about the things that you could hear in the room around you? Were there any rhythms or were there any noises that were pleasant or unpleasant? Just really take a minute just to think about what it was that you connected with there and what you engaged with in that moment in time. The other thing as well, as we do this exercise, it's totally normal for other thoughts and feelings to enter your mind. And that's actually okay. You don't need to fight them. That's not what this exercise is about. It's about accepting that those thoughts and feelings will come into your mind and allowing them to pass through as if it's a cloud that's just passing through the sky, or a leaf that's passing through on a stream of water. And every time that happens, just bring yourself back to those 5 senses that are here with you, that are going to help you to connect and engage with the world around you. So we've done our sense of sight, we've done our sense of hearing. The next sense that we're going to do, sense number 3, is our sense of feeling and touch. Bring your attention to any sensations that you can feel. Maybe it's the feeling of the ground underneath your feet, or the chair under your bum, or the feeling of your kind of clothes on your hands. Maybe you've got a cup of tea, like me. So maybe you've got a prop. Does it feel warm, or is it cold? The textures that you can feel, are they smooth or rough? What do you notice about those feelings, those physical sensations that you can feel? Where is the pressure? Where is it soft? What do you notice? Is it smooth? Drawing your attention into the physical world that's around you. And again, thinking about how would you describe this physical sensation to somebody that's never held a cup before? How would you describe that to them? What would you say? The next sense, I'm going to cheat here because I'm actually going to bring in 2. I'm going to roll in your sense of smell and taste. I guess partly because they're intrinsically linked, but I want to give you a little bonus at the end as well. So we're going to roll in our sense of smell and taste together. So can you smell anything in the room? And often people actually they can't smell anything. But back when I used to work in the National Health Service of the UK, and I used to work with groups of refugees, and a lot of them used to experience panic attacks. And one of the things I used to give them was I would either give them little sprigs of lavender that I'd actually cut from my garden, or peppermint oil, because again, there's actually evidence and research that shows that lavender is a very calming, soothing smell. But one of the things that was really helpful for this group of people was when they were having panic attacks, it would help to ground them into the here and now. So again, you might want to carry some peppermint oil or some lavender oil with you if that's something that's going to help to ground you in this moment in time, distract you from whatever else is going on. Maybe you've got a cup of tea or coffee that you can smell, or you can taste and have a little sip. The other thing that you can do to engage your sense of smell and taste as well is just to draw your attention to the sensation of the air going through your nose and passing through your mouth as you breathe in. And also, if you can't taste anything in your mouth, maybe you haven't eaten or drank recently, but can you draw your attention to the sensations that you have in your mouth? Like, is it dry? Is it moist? Just again, bringing your attention into the world around you and engaging those 5 senses. We've done our sense of sight, hearing, touch. We've rolled into 1, the sense of taste and smell. And then the last thing that I always finish on, this is like my little bonus, I always finish on, and it's not a sense, but I always finish on this sense of gratitude. And I try and bring my attention to one thing in the world that I feel grateful for. It doesn't always have to be something massive or huge. It can really be the smallest thing in the world, like a stranger holding the door open for you. I didn't get caught in the rain today, actually. The rain stopped just as I was about to leave my house this morning. But I think that's quite a nice, sweet note to finish on. 5 senses. Something that you can see, hear, touch and feel, smell or taste, and then one thing that you're grateful for.